For this episode of Loving Your Sacred Vessel, I am joined by a guest. I have Janet with me, and Janet knows the Sacred Vessel program almost as well as I do because she's been with me from the start, from the first time I offered this to other women to join in. I'd been working on my own, loving my sacred vessel for a few months before I started, but I was getting a really strong message to share this with other women. And Janet put her hand up and was one of those first groups through. And you've done it a few times, Janet, since, haven't you?
I think I've done most of the times you've done it.
How do you feel going around the same material? Because a lot of people go, well, it's why is she doing the same course again? So, but you keep coming back for more, which I love. And you're not
Yeah,
the only one who's come back. So,
I think it's a good reminder. I think we get lazy, we forget, we can lose some good habits that we might have picked up and slip backwards. And refreshing the course just brings it back fresh into my mind, the forefront of my mind, and keeps me more honed on where I want to be and how it supports me.
yeah, no, and it's always lovely to see you again. So,
Thank you.
and it is, I mean, you touched on habit changing. One of the biggest things I want people to understand with loving your sacred vessel is about long-term sustainable habit changes. It's not a quick fix sort of program. You know, if you did the program that's coming up with me, and it's 6 weeks long, you're not going to go, ta-da, I've solved everything in 6 weeks. And, you know, it's going to take time to unfold and really embed those lessons into your life. But that doesn't matter. I don't feel. I mean, how do you feel about that? About it being a gradual, because you've dieted before as well, haven't you? I mean, I came from.
I Yeah, I dieted most of my life. I have been struggled with my weight, with my self-image, and I have yo-yo dieted, lost a lot of weight, put it back on. So for me, coming back and doing the course again, it's taken me 50 odd years of bad habits. I'm not going to unlearn them in a year, in 6 weeks. It is a constant unlearning of habits, reevaluating and looking at my life and healing parts of me that were damaged through what people have told me, and learning how to overcome those emotions and the emotional eating, because I am an emotional eater.
Lots of people are.
Yeah.
And lots of people that do this course in particular are, you know, food is, it's not really a comfort because you don't feel great afterwards either, but we call it comfort eating. Um, but unlearning that emotional connection with food and using food to manage your emotions, that takes time and it takes patience, I think. And it's really good that you're prepared to come back and just goes, you know, I'm working on it. You know, I see myself as a work in progress. I'm not perfect, but I don't need to be perfect, and I don't need you to be perfect either. Is
I
that
think
really?
it's layers and layers and layers of healing on the situations that have brought me to where I am. And, layers don't all appear at once, and you deal with one part of it, peel it back, come to terms with that, settle back down, and then something else surfaces, and you think, oh, I'd not really addressed that. So it's nice to revisit and go back and do deeper work, do deeper healing.
Yeah. And you know, we talk about the overall program. Really, I've started to talk about on the podcast, so anyone can listen in to the podcast for free and learn a bit, and hopefully benefit and do some of the things I'm suggesting. But that deeper level discussion and healing, that's where we get to more on the program. Can't really just put that out. That's
Yeah.
something that we have to work on together. But you know, we can feel it. I'm a different person I know I am from when I started over those years of working through this. It's not just your figure that changes, is it? So,
No, not at all. I I didn't like any part of me to look at. I didn't look in a mirror, and the change in self-acceptance and self-worth have been huge. That was more important now to me than any weight loss, which I did lose weight. I did lose weight, and that was great. But my self-worth, my self-esteem, and the ability to actually love myself as I am, whether I'm still a bit lumpy and bumpy and wrinkly and saggy, that's been the biggest revelation of it all. And that is, you can't put money, you can't put a price on the gift of that. Definitely not.
yeah. And I love hearing that from you. And I do remember that first time round where you just there was no,
But
I asked people which was their favorite feature in that first time round. And so, not expecting people to accept themselves top to toe, but pick a part of you that you're happy with. And it was like, no. Did you have the back of your neck?
I had said the back of my head and then jokingly said that's probably just because I can't see it. And if I could see it, I probably wouldn't like that either. And
No.
that's where I was with me. Yeah.
Which was
It
pretty
was bad.
amazing, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty, yeah. But how many ladies out there do feel like that?
Yeah.
Definitely not the only one that felt like that. And now you don't, do you?
No,
No, yeah,
now
absolutely.
yeah, I've stopped worrying about what people view me as, how people see me. I walk with my head held high. I'm not saying every day is a perfect day, but you know, I am happy with who I am and where I am and how I look, and I wear what I want to wear. And I see swim now, which was something I would never have done before the program because I was so body conscious that I wouldn't walk down the beach. And I actually appeared in a film that was put out on YouTube, Brass Monkeys of the North Sea, and I wasn't bothered. Whereas before I'd been going, no, no, don't film me, don't, no, 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 suck my tummy in, and that.
Yeah, there you were in your, and I saw it. I've got tingles actually because that was such a spectacular success and turnaround from where you were.
Yeah,
Before you didn't want to be in photo. I seem to remember you didn't like being in photos at all.
no,
Not fully
no,
clothed, don't care. Not didn't
no,
want to be,
no,
And so for someone to film you in a swimsuit and put it out publicly,
yeah,
whoa,
yeah. And
that's
I looked really
massive.
good when I watched it.
Yeah.
I looked really good. I looked really happy. I looked really vibrant. And I said, why have all of these years have I been this gibbering wreck of, oh, don't film me?
I know. I wish I could go back. I mean, you can only go from where you are now.
Yeah,
But if only I could get my younger self, who was so full of anxiety about how she looked, and say, honestly, you don't need to worry. You really can accept where you are. Whether you're overweight or not overweight, that's not the issue. You can accept who you are and where you are and what your body looks like and not
yeah,
worry about it because I think for me, I mean, it's nice to have lost some weight, and it's nice to feel fitter. That feels really good, and my clothes hang better, and all that stuff is lovely. But that feeling that you're describing of just not worrying about what people might be thinking about you, how you might turn up looking in a photo, and all those things, it's such a weight off your shoulders when you stop worrying about that stuff. It's just
yeah. I feel liberated and free. And I've always felt so restricted and confined. And well, I can't do that. What would people think of a fat girl doing that? That mindset was my mindset. Oh, you can't do that. So
yeah.
very liberating.
Yeah. So yeah. So that I think is probably one of the best things that comes for women that really embrace the loving your sacred vessel sort of lifestyle. And it's a mind change, isn't it? It's an emotional
Total, total. Yeah.
overhaul.
And it's not easy. It
No.
there are parts of it where we've done sessions where I've come away and felt quite drained by it, because you're facing up to the real problems that are causing you to overeat, and it is uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but it's
Yeah.
worth it, because when you peel that back and expose it and heal, then you think, well, I don't need to stuff my face and push it down. And yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. It's not always easy healing,
no,
and it's not always a surface issue. If it was really easy, everyone would do it.
yeah,
No problem. Sometimes, some of this stuff for various women, including us, I know has gone back so many decades, right back to growing up, right back to school times and
yeah,
teenage times. And, we're really sending the healing right back into the past and undoing some of those hang-ups. And it's a big deal. And not everyone that comes on goes that deep. And it's okay. You kind of do it at the level you want to do. And you'd already done some work with me on other courses. So you were kind of ready for how I work, I think.
yeah, yeah,
You know how I work and you just go, right, come on. I think there's got to be um a readiness as well to address the stuff. I can present the work, but people will receive it in different ways according to whether or not they're really ready for it. And that's another reason why I think coming round again and not worrying that you've been round again. It's not that kind of course
yeah,
where, you know,
yeah. There's always something new to learn, and you're always going back to somewhere within you that still needs that little bit extra work that's
yeah,
going to propel you even further forward
yeah.
on this journey. So yeah, it doesn't bother me coming back. I
No, I
love
love it
it.
that you come back. I say my own confidence, I can feel for both of us, we've shifted. I know we have.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I'm guessing if I'd asked you after the first time you've been through the course to come on a Zoom call, get recorded so I could put it out there. Yeah,
I would know there would be no way. What have I got to say? What are people going to think? And now, when you asked me, I just said, yeah. Didn't even think
yeah.
about it. I didn't even hesitate.
So
So
that's proof of the pudding, isn't it,
yeah,
really?
yeah,
Definitely. So when I present the Sacred Vessel program, I try to address all parts of our being. So we talk about the spiritual, and we do some healing, and we embrace the emotional side and the thought patterns, the mental side of eating, and what thought patterns might be tripping us up. It's quite an important part of the program as well. But we do the physical. We don't ignore the physical. So we do talk a little bit about moving your body and exercise and finding something that you actually enjoy yourself that will motivate you, because in the end, exercise doesn't stick if you don't find something you like. And you found your sea swimming.
I
So
did. Yeah,
yeah, that is a habit you've created. This is what I'm talking about, habit changes that
absolutely.
you do go, and if you don't go, you actually miss going. It's not oh, I need to go and do some exercise. I
No,
need to make myself. You really want to go and you want to be there and you enjoy being there. And for different people, it's going to be different things. Um, and I've been going to the gym for the last year and a half and I love it. I love my gym classes. I've never loved gym. I've been to a gym before, but I've never liked going. I've never looked forward to it. I've never been motivated. So it is finding where you're motivated, and that isn't necessarily going to happen immediately. But we do talk about the physical. And we do talk about food. So although it is a more holistic program addressing all parts of ourselves, we do talk about food. So about the parts of the course that are to do with food, which is your sort of favorite part of that?
the one that had, well, there was two that had the biggest impact, and two that I constantly go back to. And the first one is making a list of your variety of fresh fruits, vegetables, and legumes. So your pulses, seeds, and hitting 30 and trying to hit a rainbow every day. And we got quite competitive
We
over it,
did
didn't
actually. We'll have to do that again this time round.
we?
Yeah, who can eat the most
Yeah,
different? Yeah, it's that and that part of the course, it's not about how much of each one you eat. It's not about weighing out and certain portion sizes or anything like that. It's literally the variety. It's
yeah.
literally about variety. And like you say, eating a rainbow every day, getting which will give you such a range of vitamins and minerals. So we'll yeah, we'll absolutely get competitive again. I think you always win, Janet.
I make sure I do.
Yeah.
But it challenges me. It challenges me to try different things, things that I
Yeah.
might, because I get stuck in ruts of eating where I'll eat the same thing. I'll make a pan of soup and I'll eat that for 4 days or until it's gone. So you're eating the
Which
same
is not a bad
food.
thing, by the
It's
way.
not bad,
Yeah.
but it's quite boring by day three. I'm thinking, oh, I really,
Yeah.
I don't really want this soup. Um, but yeah, so it challenged me to eat new foods, try
Mm.
new recipes with new foods in, which was really good, and opened up my taste buds to new things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It does make you more adventurous. I still do it. I still find things. I was in Morrison's supermarket, which we haven't got in our town, but I was in Brecon getting my new specs. New specs.
Very nice.
Um, so so I thought I'll go Morrison's. And they had, globe artichokes.
Yeah.
And I think I've eaten globe artichokes. I've got a feeling it might have been at my auntie's house. I don't think it was ever cooked at home, but I mean, decades ago. And I thought, right, that's it. We're having globe artichokes for tea. And so I bought a couple of globe artichokes. I checked out how to cook them and everything. Do you know, they were really delicious. And my husband was quite skeptical at the beginning because there's a big pile of leaves formed, but actually he admitted he would really like to have them again. And so
Oh,
we had
good.
we had quite a posh starter. It's like so it's just going, do you know what? I'm going to give that a go. And what's the worst that's going to happen is you go, I don't like it and I won't do it again then. I'll have
Yeah.
something else. It's just expanding, isn't it? Your
Yeah.
repertoire. So yes, we were very competitive, but you always have won that game. And it's, by the way, it's not 30 a day, it's 30 a week. If
Sorry,
anyone
30 a week.
panics,
Sorry.
yeah, it's 30 a week. Because that might send people into a bit of a
Yeah.
swing.
No, it's
Um,
definitely 30 a day.
uh, what would you What would you say is the thing that's changed? Well, we've already talked about the emotional change about how you've, and so that might be it actually, how you view your body. Is there one piece of advice that I give during the program that's really just stuck, or one process?
So yeah, the meditation's definitely, because it's all right sitting talking about stuff, isn't it? But when you actually go inside and have that stillness, you can actually listen to what is truly going on, if that makes
No,
sense.
it does. We're about to have another round of the Sacred Vessel program, which gives you those extra visualizations and discussions, and we work obviously a bit more deeply in that group. And it will be a small group. It's not going to be a large group. If anybody was hesitating and thinking, I don't know, is it right for me? Should I do it? What would you say to them, Janet?
I would say for them to come along, have a try. Um, the groups are really small, really friendly, really supportive, and it's life changing. If you put your heart and soul into it, if you give it your best shot, and especially if you've tried diets and other things, this works. This really, really works. This changed my life. It completely changed my life. I am in a better place, a better person than what I was. I'm more confident. I it just it gives you so much. It gives you so much without making sacrifices. It's not Food's not a punishment. Food becomes a pleasure. I now no longer think about food all day because I'm on a diet and I can't have this and I can't have that. I'm free. I make beautiful choices in what I eat. Sometimes I make bad choices, but I don't beat myself up anymore. I live. I'm
Yeah.
starting to live after years of, oh no, I can't eat that and I can't go there and
Yeah.
I've got to save my points and that's the sin. So it really frees up your attitude towards food and your attitude towards yourself. So please try it. It's brilliant.
And that's it. And this is, there you are.
Yeah,
Yeah. Thank you. Because that's coming from someone who's done it. Obviously, I'm very biased because it's my life experience of how it's come about and how liberating it's been for me. But actually, yeah, if you're prepared to really embrace it, it, it will work.
and
Um,
it's not painful. It's not
no,
hard. The
okay.
choices and the changes that you make are very small and they have a huge impact over a period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's you haven't got that time pressure that you have with other diets. You're meant to have lost so much by such and such a date, and why, and you might have a plateau with this, and that's okay because you're still working on making things better for yourself, and you're just it's all very life affirming, isn't it? It's
yeah,
everything you're doing is because you are learning to love yourself more, I
yeah.
think.
And the changes aren't just weight either. It's sort of things like my skin improved, my hair improved. I was happier. I'm a happier person. And that's huge. That's a
Yeah.
huge thing.
I am. I
Yeah,
really am. And I think maybe it's because when you've done a lot of diets, so much of your energy is bound up in that diet mentality. And like you say, that, oh, I can't go there and I can't have this and I must do that. And everything's very regimented usually. And because you're trying so hard, and you know that it's before you've tried and failed, everything feels very loaded with tension, I think, when you've
yeah,
been dieting for a long time, and a lot of your identity is bound up in it. And hopefully what we're doing is releasing that hold. What you eat is not your identity. How you look is not your identity. What you weigh is not your identity. And yeah, I go to restaurants and I will have a starter, a mains, and a pudding if I want it. And if I don't want it, I won't have it, you
yeah,
know? But if
yeah,
I want it, I'll have it and I will enjoy every mouthful in a
yeah,
way that I never enjoyed my food before, you know. And it's I think just so sad how many of us, particularly women, I know some men have this as well, have gone through life not being able to fully enjoy food because you're worrying about it,
yeah. And just
you know.
cutting certain food groups out completely because it's
Mm.
too fatty or it's too sugary or it's too this, and denying yourself all of the time. It, it's not how we're meant to be. It's
No,
not
it's
how
not. It's
we
not
live.
how humans are designed, is it? We're not meant to keep doing that.
No.
And yeah, it makes you miserable. And actually stopping and doing something kinder, yeah, makes
Yeah.
you happier. It does. It
And
does.
it fits in with everything that you do because there's no hard rules, there's no set rules. You eat what you want, when you want, how you want, and you enjoy it. You
Yeah.
enjoy it and you're
Yeah.
safe and it nourishes you. And I feel, yeah, definitely more nourished on every level. That I would say that's the biggest thing. I feel like I am a nourished soul now.
I think that's probably exactly where we're going to wrap up this conversation because if anyone wants a good reason for doing this program to nourish yourself and nourish your soul, I love it. So thank you so much, Janet. I really appreciate you coming on this call. And I just hope it's giving people a bit more insight into what happens on the course and the potential for change, and that it's a process that continues to unfold over months and years. It's not a race to a finish line. It's not got a false deadline to it. It just carries on unfolding and getting more liberating as you
Yeah,
go along. And I say, if any of the listeners want to join us, pop along to my website and you will find the details and the sign up form and how you do it. And we'll see each other then.
see you then,
Fabulous.
Lauren.
Thank you.